हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू माय चैनल। आज हम करेंगे यूनिट 47 का पार्ट 3। इसमें हम करेंगे आज डेथ बाय वाटर, जो कि फोर्थ पार्ट है वेस्टलैंड का, द वेस्टलैंड का। लेट अस स्टार्ट नाउ। डेथ बाय वाटर is a revised version of the last 7 lines of a French poem, Dans les Restaurants, that Eliot wrote in May or June 1981. This part of the wasteland refers to the various associated connections with water, with connections of water with mortality, and the theme of death by drowning. It is linked with the drowned god. It is linked with the drowned god of the fertility cults, the shipwreck in the Tempest of Shakespeare, and with the death of Ophelia in Hamlet. In ancient Egypt, the yearly ritual of the god's head being thrown into the Nile was an enactment of the death and resurrection of the god. The Bengali Hindus follow the same ritual on the 10th day of the Durga Puja festival in October, when they immerse decorated images of the goddess in the Hooghly, the sea, or the nearest river. In Maharashtra, the same practice is observed on Ganesh Chaturthi, the fourth day of the bright fortnight in September, when the images of the elephant god, often ritual puja, are taken out to the sea or the nearest watering place, accompanied by a procession of devotees singing and dancing all the way to the chosen spot. In Eliot's poem, the emphasis is on death and not on the hope of rebirth into a new life. Perhaps there is also an allusion of the Christian sacrament of baptism, at which the holy water becomes an agent of death of the old self and rebirth of the spirit. Glossary. Gulls, large seabirds that haunt the sea coasts. Whirlpool, current of water moving in a circle. Gentile, non-Jewish person such as a Christian. Wheel, the steering wheel of a ship. Windward, the side of the ship from which the wind blows. इंटरप्रिटेशन एंड क्रिटिकल कमेंट्स हम करेंगे अब। हमने लाइन 311 तक कर लिया था, हम 312 तक से स्टार्ट करेंगे एंड 321 तक हम इसको करेंगे अब। Phlebas the Phoenician is connected with several other figures in the wasteland, such as the drowned Phoenician sailor of line 47 in part 1, the one-eyed merchant who is the fool in the tarot cards of line 52, एंड सी ए जो है वो ड्राउंड फिनिशियन हो गया, फिनिशियन सेलर हो गया, बी वन आइड मर्चेंट हो गया, एंड 3 जो है मिस्टर यूजेनाइट्स द स्मायरन merchant of line 209 in part 3. Since he is already dead, there is no question of remembering the cry of the seagulls, the movement of the deep sea, and any matters concerning profit and loss, which were his everyday business while he was alive. Now, an undersea current gently disturbs the bones of Phlebas. His bones rise and fall, suggesting the different stages of his youth and old age while he was living. Line 315 to 16 recall Alonso's words in The Tempest, where he thinks that his son Ferdinand is perhaps dead. The narrator of the poem next addresses the pilot, the hypothetical ship है जो कि, who turns the wheel that controls the direction of the ship. The pilot is asked to ponder over the fate of Phlebas, who was once handsome and tall like the former. The phrase क्या है? Gentile or Jew is an evocative to all mankind of non-Jewish or Jewish origins. The wheel could also be taken as the wheel of fortune in the tarot pack. The last line in this passage has a link with Philebus, a dialogue of Plato. There, Socrates, the Greek philosopher and teacher of Plato, refers to people who think themselves taller and more handsome and physically finer than they really are. In saying so, Socrates is actually commenting on self deception. इसमें चेक योर प्रोग्रेस है. व्हाट इज़ द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द टाइटल डेथ बाय वाटर. एंड ये इसी जो हमने भी पढ़ा इसी में आंसर मिल जाएगा. व्हाट डज फ्लेबस द फोनिशियन सेलर रिक्वेस्ट और इन द ओवरऑल कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ द वेस्ट लैंड. ये भी मिल जाएगा इसी में हमें. ओके नाउ हम थोड़ा सा, क्योंकि वीडियो बहुत छोटा है ना, तो हम इसमें व्हाट द थंडर सेड, हम 5th पार्ट भी इसमें स्टार्ट कर देंगे. ओके वेस्ट लैंड का 5th पार्ट जो कि है व्हाट द थंडर सेड, इसको हम स्टार्ट कर देंगे थोड़ा सा. Eliot thought that the fifth and the last part of the wasteland, entitled What the Thunder Said, was not only the best part but the only part that justified the whole poem. In the first section of part V, मतलब part 5, 3 themes are introduced. पहला है the journey to Emmaus, a village near Jerusalem. The journey to Emmaus, the approach to the second है the approach to the Schaffel, Perilous, the present decay of Eastern Europe. The story of the journey to Emmaus occurs in the new treatment. मतलब ये बाइबल का ही बताया हुआ है. 2 disciples, इसमें क्या कहानी है? 2 disciples of Jesus Christ were traveling on the road to the village after his crucifixion and discussing the events of the past few days. Christ, just risen from the grave, joins them and explains to them how his death and resurrection were in full accord with the divine plan. The disciples do not recognize Christ until he blesses their evening meal, and then he disappears from the scene. The approach to the Schaffel, Perilous, is the first stage of the quest for the Holy Grail. Holy Grail वही है ना, the cup used by Christ at his last supper with his disciples. Supper means food. The decay of Eastern Europe is a reference to the Red Revolution of Russia under the Tsars in November 1917, with the refugees fleeing to West Europe. None of these themes is resolved in what the thunder said. The 3 journeys merge here but remain inconclusive. इसमें ग्लॉसरी करेंगे हम. फ्रॉस्टी मीन्स कोल्ड इन द विंटर फ्रॉस्ट. रिवर्बरेशन मीन्स रिसाउंडिंग इको. Carious means decayed with cavities. Sterile thunder, only the sound of thunder but no fruitful rain. Snarl, threatening noise like that made by an aggressive animal. Mud houses with cracks on the surface due to dry heat. Cicada, chirping insect resembling a grasshopper. Hermit thrush, a songbird that frequents lonely places. Gliding, moving along noiselessly. Mantle, cloak, CLOAK, cloak. Lamentation means the expression of grief. Hordes, crowds, ringed, surrounded. Jerusalem city in Palestine. मतलब अभी जो modern Israel, where the tomb of Christ is situated. It is a place equally sacred to the Jews, Christians and Mohammedans. Athens means capital city of Greece, center of your ancient Greek culture. Alexandria, port city of Egypt, founded by Alexander the Great of Macedonia in ancient Greece. Vienna, capital of Austria, center of art and music, reminiscent, that which reminds us of something. Cisterns, tank for storing water. Tumbled, irregular, overthrown. Schaffel, place other than a church used for Christian worship. Roof tree, the main beam supporting the ridge of the roof. Cocorico, cocks crowing signal at dawn. Himavat, Sanskrit name for the Himalaya mountain. Humped, hung over. Data, Sanskrit for to give or given. Prudence, worldly wisdom. Retract, retract means reverse, yeah, withdraw. um, Obituaries, notices of death. Solicitor, lawyer who advises clients. दया ध्वम, to be compassionate means sympathy किसी के लिए, दया दिखाना. Ethereal means airy या baseless. Coriolanus, the Roman general in Shakespeare's play of the same. Damyata, self control. Arid, dry. Poiefina means mindful in due time of my pain. Quote from Dante's. Be mindful. अच्छा. Condo Calydon, when shall I become as the swallow? Lee Prince, Eboli, the prince acquaintance of the ruined tower, shore, propped or supported with wooden pillars. I shall. Hieronymo. Hieronymo means character in the Spanish tragedy of Thomas Kett. Shanti means संस्कृत फॉर पीस. ये तो सबको पता ही होगा, शांति संस्कृत वर्ड है ये. नेक्स्ट वीडियो में हम लोग इंटरप्रिटेशन करेंगे 322 लाइन से लेके 330 लाइन तक. ओके, थैंक यू सो मच. प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब माई चैनल एंड शेयर माई वीडियोज़. थैंक यू.